Welcome back, everybody. Yo, it's your favorite gearhead, Mr. Logic himself, and you already know what's about today, man. We got peoples in the house. You got a lovely co-host, Miss
Nate.
You already know we got our boy,
Sir Daniel Ben. I'm sitting in the back of the bus today. You know what it is.
You feel me? And we have a lovely guest, Miss
Tantiastomy.
Alright, and we also got on the soundboard Mr. Lewis up in the house, you know what I'm saying?
Hitting the ones and zeros, you know what it is.
You feel me? And as you know, this is one thing for sure,
two things for certain.
Make sure if it's your first time tuning in, yo, you hit that subscribe like. Yo, it's been a crazy week. A lot of things going on in the world. We gonna touch bases on most things today. I just want to say thank you guys for tuning in. We're gonna make it special for y'all tonight.
And anybody watching the VOD on replay, you know, thanks guys for tuning in, even if you can't catch it live. And once again, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. Also hit that little bell icon for the notifications. And you can find us all at the 1424 Miami on Instagram and as well as TikTok.
Yes,
so just
sir.
Look out for that stuff.
Yes,
Plenty
sir.
of juicy BTS things, Big Time Rush, and things of that nature. All right, so getting into it, this is widely known across the rap community, the unfortunate passing of one of the members of Migos, TAKEOFF, has recently dropped that he did pass in a, well, actually, let me take it over to T. You know, the resident super fan for the Migos.
That's right.
So she's gonna break down the story for you guys, and then we'll get into it after that. Take it away.
So on Tuesday morning around 2:30 a.m., TAKEOFF.
A.M.
Yes, TAKEOFF was fatally shot with 2 gunshots, one to the head, one to the torso. And it was due to him being, I guess, standing around with Quavo at a outside dice game after a private party in Houston, Texas at Billard's. And they're saying that, you know, supposedly one of the inside camp members from Migos was the first shooter. He was shooting wildly in the crowd, and that was the first shot that hit TAKEOFF. So that's what caused Chris Nick Kari Ball, my AKA Bay, untimely demise. And yes, I was a big fan.
His real name is
Chris Nick Kari Ball.
Chris Nick Kari Ball.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be real with you, man. I have such mixed feelings, and for you viewers knowing, man, it's really unfortunate because this is one of those things that's a reality in our culture and in our community. And from the intel that I received and what I've seen been going on, it basically wasn't something that should have gone down, unfortunately.
Exactly.
You know, and it seems that TAKEOFF was really the most chill member of the group. You know what I'm saying? Young man, 28 years old, to lose his life in that manner, I don't think anybody deserves to go out like that. What really bothers me when I look into that situation is the fact that knowing that there was a pre-argument that was going on, and it seems like, and this is something that I warned people about and I said it today, it's like when you're in a certain tax bracket and you're have acquired certain feats for your life, you don't need to be around those places. You don't. He wasn't supposed to be there. None of them should have been there. And a lot of times, I'm not basically ridiculing him, but you have to understand, this is not childhood.
Agreed.
You know what I'm saying? You're on uncharted territory. Things will go wrong, and you're around the 5th Ward, Houston.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of dudes are starving out there. Everybody's trying to eat. You become a target at that point. And what really irritates me is the response and the fact that it's always our community. We have lost so many artists, and we could talk about it all day, but it seems like nobody wants to talk about a solution. You understand what I'm saying? And when I think about these 3 individuals, they didn't make hostile music. You know what I'm saying? They made music to just get everyone on a good vibe. Exactly. And that's why I think it hit the community so hard, because they were just a chill group, you know? And nobody, especially, I don't know about y'all, but to be put in a situation where you see your man go down like that, especially when it's family, this is trauma to the mind. And you can see the reaction. I don't think it was appropriate for them to record it You know what I'm saying? That
Exactly.
bothers me because it's their own people doing that. That's that man. That man have a family.
Yeah.
You understand? You here putting that on front display. It's shitty. And whoever
I
did
cried.
that, you're a horrible individual.
I
You know
cried
what I'm
when I
saying?
seen it because I'm really a fan of him, and just to see like one moment him standing there, then you hear the gunshots. Well, first you see Quavo arguing, and then you hear Quavo tell him like, "Come on, let's get up out of here." And as soon as he say, "Come on, let's get up out of here," you
Buckshots.
immediately hear pop, pop, pop. And then you see Takeoff. I mean, yeah, you see Takeoff's body fall,
Yeah, he
and
dropped.
blood just rushing out of his head. Like, I don't know if you guys are aware, but Vanessa Bryant had just sued LAPD for the exact same thing with releasing images of Kobe
Yeah.
in a helicopter. I feel that his
Yep.
family should do that
Yep.
to whoever released those
Because
images.
it's disrespectful.
It
It's
is.
inhumane.
And you see Quavo crying, you see him lifting him up, like you see all of that on the video.
And before y'all want to ridicule him about how he reacted, I don't, unless you've been in that situation, you can't speak on that, man.
It's
That's
traumatizing.
emotions, man. Like your first thought is to help the person you love. Now, I will say this, and I only can speak on what I seen in the videos. And this is why I say, a lot of y'all have to understand, in our culture is very vulgar, is very hostile. How I talk could determine the fate of the ones that I love around me.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying? So if I'm gonna engage in a conversation with somebody and it becomes vigilant and, aggressive, it's usually ends up being bad for those who hang around you. There's plenty times, especially being in a biker club and being in, my upbringing as a kid, being around that environment, it always ends up being, it's all fun and games, but guess what? You don't know what people are capable of. And we live in a day and age, we're quick to pick up the guns, but not put up our fists. You know what I'm saying?
That's so true.
It's not to ridicule Quavo or whatnot, but it's a definition and an example of how to react, because I feel like there's so much going on and it could be de-escalated so easily, and the fact that it wasn't. This is a lesson for us, man. Watch the company that you keep. Watch the settings that you're around. I will always say it 1,000 times, if I'm going to go chill with my peoples and I got to bring a gun, I don't belong there. Straight the fuck up. I don't. And what bothers me is these individuals are in a different tax bracket. I understand they want to chill with their peoples and whatnot, but they didn't have to be there.
I
They
agree
didn't.
with that.
Yeah, it's not that you're better than those people, but you have to understand you become a target when you acquire success. And you become a target whether it's people who don't know you, and sometimes it's your own peoples, your own family.
I mean, and that honestly, I think that just really plays into, as Logic was saying, just the company that you keep. Just being around certain people, you live by the sword, die by the sword, right?
Yeah.
And I know this is, a point of contention or controversy, whichever is the right word. But when I heard that he passed, I wasn't shocked or surprised in the slightest, if I'm being completely honest. Because if that's a lifestyle that you chose to lead, usually there's only one or two ways that you can make it out of that. Either you die or you wise up and decide to leave it all behind, leave the people and the connections that you made all behind. And seeing that was how they made their fame, and they were still, for the most part, fairly profitable from, living the life that they spoke about in their music. It only makes sense that they continue to live that way, right? Not every rapper, wises up and becomes a businessman. Not every rapper becomes a 50 Cent or a Jay-Z or a Kanye, right? Not everyone thinks that even after they make all the money, that's their way out of the game, so to speak.
So you're saying to not indulge into that lifestyle.
I'm not saying not necessarily to not indulge in that lifestyle, because people are going to do what they want to do, but you have to be aware that living certain lifestyles come with certain risks, and you can't.
I agree.
And it's not something that is all too shocking if you decided to live your life a certain way and it ended the way that you lived it.
When you say not too shy, I get what you're saying, but being that, I'm very deep into that culture myself, especially being old school the way I am, I find it's not shocking. It's almost, and I'm not trying to say too lesser evil, it's almost like school shootings. We have conditioned ourselves to accept it, and that's the problem.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not acceptable. And the reason why I say they don't belong there, it's not that they don't qualify or they're not hood, but for you upcoming rappers up there, trust me, I've been around that culture. I've been around these people. You are a target. You are. No matter how much love you show, we've seen it throughout history of time. One of my most inspirational rappers that I looked up to was Nip. And it wasn't because he was from the same set or anything. It was because he spoke life. You know what I'm saying? He tried to get back to a community and he got taken out by one of his own.
Exactly.
And this seems to be the everyday situation. And it hurts because it's like, yo, damn, man, it's like we can't win. And I feel like, yo, we as a people don't value each other. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to being black or Latino, we don't value each other. And that really comes down and gritty. And we really got to find a solution to this because this is not acceptable. This man leaves behind a beautiful family.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's in a traumatizing way. He never really was on that bullshit, man. This is a dude who was always an ill vibe. You see the interviews. You see how he basically presented himself. Nobody deserves to go out that way, especially when they're just chilling. So when you say you're not surprised, I get that. Yeah. But we have to check ourselves because if we allow these things to keep happening, we desensitize ourselves, and that's why we're numb to it. And that's a problem all in itself, too. Because just like you say you're not surprised, I'm ashamed to say, too, I'm not surprised either. Because it becomes the new norm. And it's like, yo, it got to stop, bro. Like, it really has to stop.
Yeah, so I haven't really been on Twitter or any of the social media platforms, or nor do I follow any pages that would tap into any of that kind of stuff.
I do.
Anybody that, what was like the response?
There was a lot of mixed responses. Like, for example, I don't know if you know the actor Lakeith Stanfield. He played...
Where would I have seen him, man?
Messiah Black Judas. That was his latest movie that he played in. He also played in Compton, Straight Outta Compton, things like that. But anyways, he came.
Oh, Messiah Black Judas. Okay.
Yeah, and he was saying that he feels that we need to kind of like on what you're talking about, like if we're promoting it in our music and stuff, like stop promoting it, and maybe we could see like a little bit of change because we're feeding ourselves or our society the mentality of crabs in a bucket. Like, oh, he got it, so I'm gonna turn to my animal instincts and go and take what he got because I can't get it myself. So if we stop promoting that in the rap music, as he called it, the gangster rap, he was like, then maybe we could go back to how, like, when, you know, back in the days when I guess it was what PDA or
you know, like I'm not like fully I'm not
came
fully
out and was like having positive messages.
So I'm not fully against you know, talking like that drug talk, gun talk, or whatever, right? I just think that the better way of going about it is if you were to promote that kind of music, that I think music was better when, or at least rap music was better when, it was rapped about or what have you, but it was more so like cautionary tales or like the horror stories of that kind of lifestyle.
That's what they're saying. That's what he was trying to say, because he was saying, like, if you remember, like back in the days, like not saying anything against the police, but like we're just gonna use NWA, like because of all the police brutality, they came out with a song, F the police, like trying to. It
was an expression of their environment,
right?
Exactly.
But
you
that's
know?
why. But that's the thing with gangster rap, and for a lot of y'all who don't understand gangster rap is more political than you think. You know what I'm saying? When we're in these communities, especially me being a victim of police brutality, it's a reflection of my reality. You understand what I'm saying? And it's not, here's the thing, like, you have the dynamic change because it was different in culture. You know what I'm saying? Like, in my generation, I'm what, 11 years older than y'all? So my generation of hip hop, we were the hustlers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We were getting it by any means. Now, this new generation, they're the customers.
Yeah.
So because they're customers, you ready? How many other artists have been strung out on some sideways shit, and basically it goes to shit. So when you have a generation leading hip hop who are avid drug users, and I'm not saying that's the Migos, I'm talking about gangster rap now. A lot of dudes who do gangster rap, they're already fucked up in the head. They're not mentally there.
Yeah, from the bruise.
And it multiplies and it consumes and it basically takes over the youth. And already in our culture, you have so many individuals riding high on emotion.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We got more heart than we got feelings, so we're resolved to killing. And that's literally what it is.
And the Bruce says, bring back rap that has story and soul in the lyrics. You know,
Exactly.
that's not the stuff that gets popularized these days.
But it's also, look what's marketed. Look who's controlling. And this is where you have to look who's running the game. And I'm not talking hip hop artists. We're talking about the high players, the record label owners. This is what they advocate.
Be careful, you might Kanye yourself.
Hey, listen.
I was just going to say he's talking on Kanye right now.
Yeah, but you know the
Now,
difference
one time-
between me and Kanye is?
Yeah.
I don't basically make excuses for myself. So whatever I say to y'all, if you don't agree, come check me and educate me on why I'm wrong. But I'm not going to sit up here and walk on eggshells and act all goody twos. No, I'm call shit out. Because the truth of the matter is, you got all these white individuals who run the game, regardless of what religion they have, and that's what they look for.
Yes.
And we see it. Look at the whole thing with Brit Barbie. They praise ignorance. Every app that we use for music, what is the number one thing going on? Ignorance. And
you know,
hostile music.
And the crazy thing, sometimes even if like you're against that, and I'm gonna be honest, sometimes if I just want to have a good time, I will listen to ignorant music. You know, just music that isn't really like the best kind of message that you want to spread, but it has a.
But it depends what mind state you're in.
You're aware that the message
where it's
is
not, but you
good.
know, it's catchy and it has a good beat, and I just want to like bust down or what have you.
And we're very emotional when it comes to music. Music moves the soul. So yo, if you want to talk about, my mother worked 3 jobs, you know what I'm saying? So when you want to talk about her upbringing, when a dude's talking about getting shit done and hustling, I'm gonna relate to that because it's like, damn, I'm not alone.
Right.
There's somebody representing me. And sometimes subconsciously we feel we gotta represent ourselves, even if it's in an unpure manner. You get what I'm saying? I'm not proud. Yeah, I've done plenty foul things, but at some point in your life, as you get older, you got to have some type of accountability. And the problem that I see, speaking as a gentleman at the age of 35 myself, you got a lot of OGs in the game where if real niggas didn't die, we wouldn't be screaming fuck the other side. The truth of the matter is there are some real men dying. You get what I'm saying? And who replaces them? Some busters, some mark-ass, whack-ass dudes who basically are misguiding these kids on the wrong things to do. And we have to check that too. You know what I'm saying?
That's kind of why I was upset when this happened at Takeoff, because he's like the one out the group that doesn't really promote any violence. They don't really promote violence, but he was like the one who was the chill, the quietest. He was never in the public eye for doing bad stuff. Like, you ain't see him up here with different baby mamas. He won't fight nobody. He won't shoot nobody.
He
won't
be
get
dropping
in a
jewels
restaurant.
with knowledge too.
Yes, and his bars, his lyrics, if everybody don't know what bars is, his lyrics was like, okay, he got this.
I'm gonna be honest, you know, I didn't really listen to Migos like that. Maybe they're more popular hits, so I can't speak on their lyrics.
Just to check the comments, yo, just want to give a shout out to my cousin Chad right now. Thank you for tuning in, cuzzo. Love you much.
Ignorant music is like a fashion trend. You wear something you don't represent.
Facts. I agree with you 100%, yo. So one thing that I do want to say that bothers me regarding this whole situation is how we handled it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And this goes into our next topic. It basically how we handle it. I have beef with these old school artists who want to speak out now. The truth of the matter is, and this is for the Fat Joes, this is for the DJ Khaled's, this is for, you know what I'm saying, the P. Diddy.
Oh yeah.
Y'all know, y'all not innocent. We don't forget what you put out there. We don't forget your involvement. So it's hypocritical for you to say, oh, I'm tired of this shit, when you made your whole career off of that. When are you guys going to come to the hood and start blessing these kids and educating them? And you haven't.
Jay speaking from the heart, he has a couple stories about DJ Khaled.
Yeah, me personally, I don't like DJ Khaled, and honestly, I know he's a clown.
Does he always like yell his name when he walks into a room?
It's not that. It's the content of your characters are in question, homie.
God did.
You know what I'm saying? Because how I look at it growing up, you use dudes in the hood as a freaking foundation without caring. Oh, we from the hood. No, you not from the hood, cuz. You not even from Miami, G. You exploited people from the hood to make a career.
Where is he from anyway?
He's from up north, New York.
Oh, I thought he was from Serbia or something.
Nah,
Liberia.
man. So it's like, yo, when I hear P. Diddy talking about that and you have Busta Rhymes, yes, you guys are great artists, but guess what? What are you doing to make a change? You know what I'm saying? One of my favorite artists being Nipsey Hussle gave back to the community. And I know I might sound ignorant saying this. I'm willing to throw my life on the line if it means helping my people. Y'all been in the rap game for over 30 years. What do you have to show for it, cuz? What do y'all have to show for it? You're talking about the problem of how this gotta stop. I don't see y'all making no efforts and no programs to make it stop. Yo, Frederick Douglass said it best. It is easier to make stronger children than it is to repair broken men. So guess what? The hip hop game is full of broken men. And if we don't do something fast, those children are going to become broken children. And nothing's worse when you have an emotional child who basically doesn't feel the world doesn't love him. We've been conditioned. And you know what? One of the biggest problems that I have is as a black man, you know why another brother's willing to kill me and not willing to kill a white person? Is because the how do I say this? The consequences of killing a white person will be more severe than killing a black person. That's the system that is created in this country. And it works with the same thing with Latinos. But yet, in our culture as a black man, we influence the world.
Yeah.
We influence the world.
I mean, I don't mean to sound like...
we don't value ourselves.
I don't want to be one of those, like, pro-black people. I am a pro-black person, but I don't want to sound like one of the more extreme... but... Black people, literally, most of the entertainment that we take for granted, black people were the trailblazers for it.
Exactly.
You know, like,
you know what I'm saying?
just,
it's real
look into the roots, and we kind of just made everything.
A lot of the inventions that we use.
Yeah, a black person created the elevator, as well as the closed circuit security system.
Yeah, we're phenomenal people. And then what really irritates me and why I go at these older artists so much, and for those who don't know, like, yo, I've been around these individuals. I've seen who they truly are. And that's why I say it's not that I'm going base. You got to be able to separate the artist from the individual. For a lot of you hip hop cats out there, the content of your character is in question, homie. Cause there's a young brother dying like that every day, dog. Every day there's a brother getting killed like that. Every day there's a woman getting killed like that. Y'all don't speak on it because y'all don't care till something happens to somebody you know. And that's ignorance. Because if you come from our culture, how come you not doing nothing? Talk all that cheap shit you want. Everybody talk the talk, but ain't nobody walking the walk. The hip-hop game fake as fuck. Because guess what's going to happen? You got a whole bunch of artists saying, oh, my love for Krover, TAKEOFF, posting pictures and whatnot.
Yeah.
Put your money where your mouth is. Do something about it. Help us find a fucking solution. If not, shut the fuck up.
Now that solution it's going to take a complete overhaul of the system that we're in. Hey, yo, free game for you guys though. So I recently learned this that if you if you want this was pretty much like the video that I watched. If you want to like try to decrease the amount of like like killings or whatever from police or police brutality as a whole, right? Is get a very pricey life insurance policy, because the thing is, life insurance companies, they have A1 lawyers. They will fight fucking tooth and nail to do whatever they can to not pay out. They do not want any of that.
But guess what? If a cop kills you unjustly and that life insurance has to pay out, best believe that cop's gonna get drug through the mud.
Yep.
They're gonna make sure he pays, because guess what? Not only are you gonna be suing the police department, but now life insurance has to pay on that man's life that was killed unarmed innocently. And that's the thing. Lack of education in our community is so bad. Yes. And I'll say it right now, one of the biggest problems that we have in our community, and I don't care how some people take this, in poverty areas, most blacks have a victimized mentality, and that becomes a choice. We have to change that. We influence the world, man. We're trendsetters here.
We was Kangs and shit.
It's not, but here's the thing. They say, oh, we were Kangs and that. Act like we've been here before. Because guess what? When it comes to the black dollar, it don't even circle around the community not once, But the Jewish dollar goes around 15 times. The Asian dollar goes around 8 times. The white dollar goes around 7 times. But our dollars, guess what? Finance labels like Gucci, Louis Vuitton. Our money is
which all
so
hate black
powerful.
people, by the way.
And then what's crazy is when I'm learning is like, yo, us as black people, we don't support each other. I can have my own business. You'll be quick to ask you'll be quick to ask a discount. But when it comes to luxury or some Gucci flip-flops, you're willing to pay full price. We literally could change the dynamic of things if we just change our way of thinking and control our feelings.
All right, and
I agree with that. I just think that it with everything, like with every action, there's a reaction, right? So like we're saying all of that stuff and like getting out of the crab mentality and stuff like that, right? And supporting each other. But I don't know how many times you've been to like a black owned business. And I'm just saying this to speak on our people. And they have the worst customer service, or they make you like jump through hoops and feel like you don't, like, why should I even give you my money?
Like validation becomes an issue.
Like, yes.
But that's
So
the thing.
it's
We
a
don't
hand-
value each other because
gotta
it's
go
like,
hand in
yo,
hand.
you know how many times I've seen, and here's another thing I'll say real. There's a lot of blacks that segregate themselves amongst other blacks just based on class. We got to lead each other. We got to educate each other. Enough of the bullshit. I'm tired of seeing my young brothers get killed out here.
Me too.
There's a lot of homies that ain't here right now that I wish were here. And what y'all don't understand, I'm never going to get those text messages back. I'm never going to get those phone calls. I'm never going to be able to basically have my time with those dudes, man. And I'll be real with you, not to tear up. I miss my peoples, dog.
Me too.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit hits me hard because I'm tired of seeing it. It's not that I'm getting soft. I'm tired. And there's a lot of us are tired, man. This shit gotta stop, bro. It gotta stop. And it starts with the leaders. Y'all gotta do something. Y'all make your money and it's like, yo, you forget. You forget easily. And the only time y'all want to speak on it is when it happens to one of y'all. But when it happens to us on an everyday basis, y'all don't say nothing. And that's a big problem right there in itself.
yes, nada. No one's saying anything. So we got our boy in the back, Mr. Brick and Morty. Want to ask a question to the crowd? If you guys want to tap in and comment on it, either in the video or after the VOD, what have you. If you ever post it to Instagram, TikTok, you know, are African Americans the most emulated race? You know, that's tapping on what we were saying on earlier. Most of the popular things that you take for granted, you know, they were from black people, like rock and roll. You know, I think. You know, you could say, tell me if I'm wrong or whatever, but like most like advanced math comes from Egypt. You know, that's where the dark skinned individuals.
Well, we
were
can break it into different cultures.
language,
You're
writing.
Mexican.
Yeah.
You're
Writing, all
Mexican.
of that
There's a
came
lot.
from hieroglyphics.
And another problem is a lot of blacks don't know the history. Like, I remember in history class, I learned that runaway slaves would flee to Mexico. And the U.S. would demand that Mexico bring back the slaves, and Mexico would respond by saying, there are no slaves here. There's Mexicans.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's such a hidden fact, because it's not just our culture. You got Mexicans killing Mexicans. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got Cubans beefing with Cubans. I don't see Jews beefing with Jews.
Kill Caucasians.
You know
every
what I'm
day.
saying? I don't see Arabs killing their own people in Dubai. Like, we don't have unity, bro. We need unity. We need to really nip this shit in the butt, and we can't sit quiet on it. Because the longer we sit quiet on it, potentially only things get worse. And the only reason I compare other races to it, because guess what? For as much trend-setting things we have done, so as much influence that we have done, we're in last place.
Yeah.
And it wasn't always like that. Learn our history. We had Black Wall Street, homie.
No, yeah,
You know what I'm
that's just
saying?
the exploitation of the Negro.
Where do you guys think this like rooted from? Just to get like a better understanding.
You want to honestly know the truth? So me being in gang culture as a young kid, man, my OGs taught me a lot of knowledge. It really stems from Black Panthers. And to show you how fucked up this system is in this country is, the Black Panthers group was labeled a terrorist group, while the Ku Klux Klan was labeled a Christianic group.
Right.
And to show you
that's
how
true.
powerful we are as individuals, when Black Panthers rolled up in front of Ronald Reagan while he was running for president, we had loaded shotguns and everything. They changed the law calling it the Mulford Act. You get what I'm saying? And they're still doing it. Right now, the most recent thing is, and look at what they're doing in Chicago, the Safety Act. They literally putting us in a position to take ourselves out. And it's not just about color.
Yeah, I think it was something about them being like an open combat area or whatever.
It's suicide. And that's the thing, man. You put us in a certain environment of poverty, lack of knowledge. Very few things are going to come out of that are good. You know what I'm saying? But also as a black man, I got to tell you, it's a choice. Because it was a choice when I chose to gang up and chose to live my life that way. It came down to a choice. Whether anybody wants to say, everything comes down to a choice. Because there's plenty of people who had a choice who chose to do it the other way. And that's why I say that victim mentality shit got to stop. Roll us on to the next one, G.
Oh, and on the topic of Black Panthers, if you guys are interested in having us review Black Panther Wakanda Forever, comes out November 11th in all theaters. Next Friday,
sir.
yeah, we will do a little watch party, and we'll comment on what we think about it. What did you guys think about the first Black Panther, by the way?
You want me to be?
Loved it.
I have mixed feelings about
No,
it.
I have only negative feelings about it, if I'm being completely honest.
wow.
Yeah.
Explain.
Yeah.
Why?
Why?
Yeah.
Because honestly, I think, and this is an argument that me and one of my boys, Vic, if you're watching, this is for you. One of my boys, Vic, that we got on about was that I honestly believe that Black Panther was like it was an okay movie. It wasn't bad by any means. But the hype train that it got completely overrated. And in my honest opinion, people are saying that like Killmonger was like a great villain. So
He was.
My thing is see that I don't agree that Killmonger was a good villain, only because I believe that he was kind of like a caricature of what a black person is. Like they could have gotten some, and like he was well spoken and he was a smart guy. He was a formidable opponent. It's just the way that he like presented himself and like how to me it kind of reminded me of like a minstrel show. You know, like back in the day when the people would put on blackface and they dance around like fools or whatever. That's the vibe that I got from Killmonger's character.
May I break that down though?
Yeah.
And I have had that feedback a lot, and to my viewers to explain how I personally view it. I get what you're saying, but the storyline, you have to look at it this way. In the movie, right?
Yeah.
Killmonger's father was sent to go undercover in the United States, and when he witnessed the systemic racism, it changed his direction of wanting to make a difference.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's also a bigger point because it shows how blacks, which was the ones in Wakanda who are privileged and have turned their back on those in need. And that's what influenced his rage to be the way he is. So at the end when he's like, yo, bury me out in sea and let me die, I'd rather die with my hands
Free
on
instead
my
of in
gun
bondage,
and that's
Yes.
real shit.
Yeah.
Now,
Exactly.
those who don't understand that could never understand it because you don't come from our culture. I get what you're saying. I just don't think they execute it in the right manner.
the message was dope. You know,
Yeah.
stand up for what you believe in. Help when you can help. Right? Don't hold on to resources that could otherwise be good in other places. But I
the
just
height
think,
of it
literally,
was
it was just like,
bullshit.
bro,
But
everyone's
do you
like,
think
oh, it's the.
Killmonger's like character was justifiable, like a justifiable villain?
Oh, definitely. I just think
so, too.
they try to make it too political in the sense of to relations of what's going on
In the
and
real
they
world,
lost
yeah.
that. And because it was a black movie with all black cast and black artists
See,
and black
that's
designers,
the thing that annoyed
it was
me.
like, oh, this is great. It was like, act like we've been here before.
Yeah, exactly.
You get
Like
what I'm
the
saying?
thing was like they're saying nearly an entire black cast. This is the first big black movie. Is like, bro, relax, all right? Because then what we have shown Hollywood is that even though you can be pissed about all the other things that are going on, if they just give you a fucking bone, then you're just gonna rabbit dog all over it, and then they'll
Exactly.
be able to exploit it just like that again.
Oh,
And that's
Right?
why that's why I feel the same way as you.
And so it wasn't a bad movie. The CGI was dog shit, but it wasn't a bad movie.
It was a good storyline.
Yeah.
I just don't think they should have hyped it up to that level and try to be so pro-black about it.
Yeah.
Because if we want to be accepted, we got to play that game.
Exactly. Like you have to like it's like when you go to a party and you see like a bunch of rich people or whatever, and like you're with your boy that's been in that life, and like you're like all starstruck or whatever. He's like, yo, relax, chill out. You got to look like you belong, or else they're gonna take
Yep.
advantage of you. and that's what's happening. You know, that's why.
You think people should see it and be like, oh, like to the example that you were saying, oh wow, well, I can't believe a black man isn't so successful. No, a man is successful. They're putting so much emphasis on the black. It's take away the black. He's a person.
They should see it for what it is.
From the structure and the value because of them being that way. And I agree with you 100%.
And also for you guys, just so you know, like,
wasn't it kind of like, isn't Wakanda supposed to be like African, like a Africa like type thing, right?
No,
But I hear that Africa has a lot of like white people mixed,
Africans,
like
South white Africans.
Yeah, so to put the emphasis on like, oh, Africans, you know, of course they would be black. That would just give out the wrong message of.
No, but the thing with like Wakanda is that it's like a place stuck out of time, right? Yeah. So that's why, you know, it's the way that it is.
Without being underwater.
It's literally Black Atlantis, right? And this is something that you can peep as well, that if anybody were to around the time when Black Panther came out, if people spoke on that movie objectively, they were marked as racist. You know, and so that's why I also don't like. But we gotta
respect their opinion.
No, and
that's the thing. It's not that, if they don't like it, they don't like it. But the fact is, because it's black, I'm like, no, because he just don't like it.
It wasn't as good as everyone said that it was. You know,
that's that victimized bullshit.
It's gonna take time to restructure people's minds and their way of thinking of black people, of, you know, and I think this is probably just in America because, you know, of our history, but because I'm pretty sure in other countries, I don't know. Anybody from other countries, please let me know.
I mean, there's racism all around the world.
Yeah, racism all around the world.
To the demographic and degree that it is in this country, it's outlandish.
Yep.
It's gonna take time to finally have people to be like, oh, black people, no, people.
Yeah, what do you think about them making the Little Mermaid black?
Honestly, I want to say this, and I'm going to say this to my viewers. You want me to believe that...
Oh my God.
No, I got to be 100. Yeah. You want me to believe that a mermaid who is from the Caribbean is as pale as snow with red hair?
No.
That's like you expecting me to be Egyptian of gods for an Egyptian to have blue eyes and blonde hair. Let's not bullshit. There's plenty of Hollywood movies that should have been led by black roles or Hispanic roles that were given to white individuals who actually had to wear makeup to match the part and make them look like a person of color. Yeah. So when you're upset, you're changing the way things are. I'm like, well, I'm going to check those people the same way a Disney artist checked a black woman. She said, why isn't it Sleeping Beauty or, you know what I'm saying, Snow White black? I'm like, well,
her name is Snow White.
Well, not only that, where do these stories of origin come from? Europe.
Yeah.
The Little Mermaid takes place in the Caribbean, from the islands. For crying out loud, Sebastian was speaking patois.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, unless you're talking about the movie Shatas, I have never seen a pale, rare-head Jamaican ever.
My thing with that, my only problem with that, recasting her as black, is that it just messes with the original IP. I'm a purist, right?
Yeah.
If they were originally something, unless that the person that they change it to is like a good actor and they fucking carry it, then that's a problem for me, right? Because if someone were to sit down and honestly give their critique on the movie, like I said before, if you give your critique on this movie, on The Little Mermaid, there are people who are talking shit about it before it's even out. Fuck those guys, right?
Yeah.
But when it comes out and then people have their legitimate criticisms, they will be labeled as racist. Movies like that, they have the armor of social justice, so that if you have any honest opinions about it, you'll be labeled as an is or whatever, right?
Nice.
And so my thing with that, right, because like it can be done right. I think the number one example would be Nick Fury. Right? Samuel L. Jackson's Nick Fury. Nick Fury in the comics originally was a white dude.
Yep.
But when they cast Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury, he fucking stole that shit.
Yep.
And they even retconned it in the comics to then make him black because of how good of an actor that Samuel L. Jackson was. You know? So it's like,
it's about acting. It's not about
it's
color,
not about color.
man.
If it's done the right way, then fuck yeah, let's do it. But I just have the weirdest feeling because when Disney makes their live action movies from the original animated ones, they have not all gotten like stellar reviews, right?
The Lion King.
Yeah, right?
I think they destroyed that movie.
The Lion King should have been the one that was like, hey, yo, let's go.
Yep.
But they fucking shit on it, right?
They
Even though all the actors in the movie were black, you had Nicki Minaj, Beyonce, fucking Drake, right? They had all these people, but it was like doggy, right? So the only movie that I can say that I enjoyed live action was Beauty and the Beast, only because it was literally a shot-for-shot remake. It was the exact same movie, but live action, right? And that was the only thing. And so I'm going to watch The Littlest Mermaid, and I'm going to see how it is.
I said we watch it together and we critique it.
Yeah.
It's crazy that you guys are talking about The Little Mermaid, because I don't know if you noticed, but like I grew up on The Little Mermaid, and they, like you said, they always had like a Caucasian female, right?
Yeah.
But if y'all remember, Ursula was supposed to be the fat black lady.
Yeah.
And here's
And she
another
was
thing.
ugly.
Wait,
and
so
she
the
couldn't
cast for
sing.
Ursula in the live remake,
they
is she
were
black or is she
originally.
white?
I don't know.
No clue. But Ursula was originally supposed to be Neptune's sister in the original take of the movie. And like you guys notice how Neptune is he's a dark he's a dark
And he's
man.
blue.
Yeah.
And mind you, The Little Mermaid is about incest. Like, it's a dark origin story.
Yeah.
And what drives me crazy about Disney is so racist throughout history of time that if you look at 98% of their movies, every black character is played as an animal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah.
That's what I was. Yeah.
The black people are either like outlandish or like they're animals. Yeah.
You know, Dumbo. I say, boy, look at here. Oh, Mr. George.
the crows.
You know what I'm
or
saying?
like in Princess and the Frog when the crocodile.
Or the Jungle Book.
The
That
Jungle
kind of
Book.
makes me like go back to what you guys were talking about, because I keep hearing you say, and it kind of like I'm kind of like understanding you, but in the same time I'm kind of like over here battling with myself, because I keep hearing you say like we're black, act like we've been there before, right?
Yeah.
But let's go back into our society. We haven't been here before. We're breaking barriers.
I don't
in
think
the
so.
Listen to what I'm saying before you cut me off and understand where I'm coming from,
Yeah.
okay? Because in the United States, we came over here as slaves. We had to already fight to, like, we're not even free now, but to even get this kind of freedom. You understand what I'm saying? To be able to have these kind of platforms, to be able to be on TV. Because like you just said, they used to use white people and paint them to look like us. You understand? So when people keep, like, just using you, when you keep saying, like, we've been there before, like, Wakanda should have been this, and that, because you used all black actors, but you should have had more greatness than that because y'all been here before. Actually, we're just starting to get to really show on camera our extraordinary.
I kind of
like,
disagree.
I agree.
If
I
may
see where you're
say
coming from,
this,
but I do
when
disagree.
When I say act like we've been here before, it's like when I played ball, right? Football. The coach would say, act like you've been here before. Even though we never achieved it, you got to look at your competition and you got to play their game. Because when you act out on that and you want to celebrate, there's nothing wrong with celebrating, but understand, all eyes on you.
No, yeah, exactly.
And
Like
how
I said,
you move is going to be critiqued and is going to be used against you.
because they will take advantage.
And that's
True,
what
but
I
that
mean
goes
by
again to what you're saying. Like, we got to kind of get out of that victimized mentality, because we've been conditioned that we're not as great as everybody else.
Yeah.
We're not as...
When we are.
Exactly.
Yep.
So it's hard to bring people who's in poverty and down and stricken and have everything already piled up against them and try to put them on this platform or get them to act like that, because you could take your everyday life and be like, one day you might be the lowest day of your life, right? And you've been at it and had a great day before, but you can't mentally get yourself to be like, I've been there before. I need to get positive today, like to just get myself out of this. You know what I'm saying? Like, some people really have problems doing that. So that's hard.
So
It is hard, but that's where it comes to community and communication of supporting each other. And one of the reasons we're like that is because we don't have each other's back to keep us
That's
grounded.
true.
So, and my thing with that is, I think that Black Panther, when it got big, it was a very great example of how unified that the Black community can
Could
come
be.
together behind
Yes.
a single thing. I just think in regards to, I'm sorry, we went on a tangent, my bad, you guys. But I just think in regards to like recasting the races of actors, if it's not, right, like, because it's one thing if you cast a good actor, right?
Right.
But if you recast an actor, whether like a black to white, white to black, white to Asian, or whatever, if it was done for the sake of like brownie points and not for the sake on how good the actor that you chose for that role was, then that in itself is a problem to me. And in regards to like, the with like the Little Mermaid, and like recently they dropped not a new superhero, but Disney Plus are making a show about a superhero called Wonder Man, and he was originally white and they recasted him as black. The thing with that is, I don't enjoy the black community getting scraps. I don't enjoy that not one bit.
Agreed.
I think that there are plenty of original IPs that are out there that are black people
That we have earned.
that we have earned and that can be put to screen, and we don't need, you know, the popularity wave from the original thing being like a different race and then making it black.
I think that the reason that and I'm gonna play the controversy magnet here. I think the reason that Disney did that is because, one, if I'm Disney and I'm a business owner, I'm gonna be thinking of what's my target audience, right?
Yeah.
Mostly on Disney, a lot of my audience is younger people.
Yeah.
You understand? So they're going to relate more to Chloe Bailey because they're following her. She's what's popping right now. The girl can sing. She's popping. They want to be like her. You know what I'm saying?
Check this comment out. Chad put, act like you've been there before. It's still acting. It's not natural. It's unknown.
It's fact.
Damn.
No,
right.
he's not wrong, but here's where I find the point of contention with that. It doesn't matter if you've never been there before, if you know the way that you're supposed to carry yourself in a situation, that you should, right? Imagine that you've never been to a gala, right? Imagine someone's never been in a courtroom. Imagine you've never been when kids they go to school, right?
Yeah.
You if you are aware of what the
Surroundings are.
if you're aware of what your behavior should be in this instance, then you should carry yourself
That's
in
good
that
that you
manner.
say that, because now I want to touch on a topic, right? I never had what is it called when you go and you learn how to do like the proper way to eat and all
Yeah.
that, like eating
Classes?
etiquette classes, right?
Yeah.
Never had that, but I've been to places where you have to go to a dinner.
Yeah.
They have it. It's very formal, and I have to try to act like I done been there before. But
Yeah.
then you pick up the wrong fork and
Yeah,
you're
but
eating
listen-
the wrong salad with the wrong fork. You
listen
get
to
what I'm
what- but
saying?
listen
Like
to what
it's
you're
like, how do
saying.
you act?
You're in an
like that.
environment
You're
where
trying to.
You're in an environment where you're learning how to act. That's different than being
That's
in an
what we're
environment.
talking about now,
No,
right?
but here's the thing.
It's levels to it.
Yeah,
in other words.
what I'm saying is when you're in an environment that doesn't have, when it doesn't give you like a learning curve, right? What I'm saying is where what you're describing is you're somewhere where they give you the tools and they tell you how to act, right?
No, I'm saying I never took that class.
You
but
never-
I had been
She
to
means
a
like
So
in
how
an
does she
environment.
adapt to it?
Oh, okay.
But
You said
I've
you've
been
never
to
been.
right,
So-
but I've been to a dinner.
but
You
then
don't
listen
supposed to
to-
put your elbows
listen to
on
what
the
you're
table
saying,
and
though.
stuff like that. You have to watch and see
Exactly.
and try to adapt.
Exactly.
You know what
Exactly.
I'm saying? But
So
you
what
can't
you
really act.
spectate
What I'm
is
saying
supposed to be your
is,
leeway.
yeah,
Yeah.
but what I'm saying is, like, if that's your first time going,
Yeah.
right? You're gonna try to act and fit in,
Yeah.
but just like Chad just said, you're still acting. It's not natural.
Yeah.
So when this person is picking up and doing everything proper, you're looking a little weird because you're sitting like, oh, nobody else got their elbows on the table, so let me do like this. And which fork was that? Oh, it was that fork. Let me use
almost
that
like
fork.
improv.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
you're imitating
Oh, yeah.
somebody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah, I
not
know what you're
natural.
saying, yeah.
But to cut into the next, so we don't fall behind.
Oh yeah. So let's talk about relationships. How
and
trauma.
the dating app. So I would like to take this one, and I
So
swear,
Logic made a couple of dating profiles.
Let the audience know what kind of dating apps you're
I'm
on.
on Bumble and Tinder, and I could look you dead in the face, and I can honestly say I don't like it.
Why?
It's toxic. It's mental illness, and allow me to share my experiences with it. And I actually was talking to my cousin about this today. Social media has dissected us, examined us, and literally used us as a pawn.
Yes.
And in these dating sites, especially as I'm going on, I see the women on here, and they are unrealistic. And I'm going to be real with you, and I'm cutthroat.
So are the men.
It's both. It is both. And the truth of the matter is, like, I'm looking at some of these shorties' pictures. You're on a boat. You're in some high rise, right?
Yeah.
But then you don't have the occupation that matches that. You're fronting. And then what ends up happening is, as a man, it makes me insecure because it's like, damn, I gotta be
No,
somebody.
yeah. Like I would see profiles and be like, oh, I can't afford this girl. Left.
Yeah, and not only that, it's like, especially at 35, I'm looking at this shit. I'm like, yo, this is sickening. It's making us sick because
Yeah.
we're putting on a front. It's a placebo. And it's sad. It really is, because it brings on some type of depression when you really just genuinely want to meet people to talk and chill and vibe.
Yeah.
Some people use it to fuck and do whatever, but for the most
people,
part,
most people.
most people,
These are fuck apps.
but
Yeah,
for the
most
most
people,
part,
yeah.
as I'm going through these shorties pages, I'm like, yo, the first thing I'm seeing here is on a yacht and a high ride. I'm like, well, whose dick did you have to suck to be in that place anyways?
Well, what
because
if-
your credentials that you posted up don't match. And that's what we do in social media already.
Some people are so lucky to have friends or family that own boats, and I'm so jealous.
No, you're right.
because-
But
that's
it-
most
but-
people.
but it's
Obviously,
a-
there are other people.
There are other
but-
people who
but-
are shown in to get those positions, but I can say for like if you go on my Instagram or whatever, you will see I'm on a yacht, I'm on this, I'm on that. But it be events that I go to. I'm gonna enjoy my life and live my life. That don't mean that I'm sucking or hunching nobody or doing anything to
Don't
get
judge a
that.
book by its
You know
cover.
exactly.
Yeah, I mean, because like
And I
guys,
have 4
also
kids.
have like photos of them doing like extravagant
Yes.
things.
No,
I'll tell you
that's
what.
I say it's both sides,
On
but
these-
it's unrealistic. It really is unrealistic because as I'm going, and I'm just speaking from my experience, right? As I'm scrolling through these, I always look at the information that's put down.
Yeah.
And even the shorties that have hit back, whenever I ask what they do for a living, it's change topic.
Oh yeah.
So
Jay
why
got hit with a bot.
So why are you illuminating something that's not consistent to what you're posting?
Yeah.
I'm not saying you can't post that, but when you're talking about the ideal man that you're looking for, and you have these photos up, and it's like you don't even qualify for what you're looking
Yeah.
for.
And by the way, this
And
is
that sends out a mental
I think
illness
that
for men who look for that,
yeah.
and for women who look for that, for men who be doing the same thing. It's both sex. It's not just the women. It's the men too. Cause
Yeah, look on the side. Or before I get into what I'm gonna say, this is real information. You can look it up. This is real. 80% of the women on dating apps are only going for about 20% of the men there. Like the
Yeah,
6 foot,
they
6
control it.
figures type beat, right? So if you're an average guy like myself, I think of myself as a hard 6.
I'm a
Hard
hard
6
4.
what?
Huh?
Oh,
Like on a
6
scale of
the
1 to
number.
10.
Okay,
I'm a hard
okay.
4.
Good job. Okay.
Oh my god.
So
Okay.
then I'm not getting as much attention as like the 8s or 9s or 10s. And so that's just how it is for the average man. And now, what I like to do, what I used to like to do is I'd like to stream when I'd go on dating apps with my boys, and we would just like talk our shit or whatever. And so I turn on the so you can see everyone, male and women. And bro, some of the accounts that these profiles that these men have are some of the most depressing fucking things of life, dude.
If not fuckboy status.
Literally, I look at them and I understand why most of these men aren't fucking getting matches, dude.
Exactly.
This shit is cringe, bro.
Because
And
it's
boring.
horrible.
No, it's terrible, dude. I remember I turned it on for men and women. Like usually on Tinder, I didn't get much matches. Being the 6 that I am, I didn't get much matches from women. But I turned it on for men, and it shot up 3 times, 4 times. Right, I was up to like 80 or so matches. Right, men. Right, like dude.
But you want to know what's crazy? And one thing that I experienced on it, and again, it's not to throw shade. What worries me is the most dangerous thing you could possibly do to yourself is put yourself in a caliber that's not existent.
Yeah.
You can't be a nickel looking for a dime. You know what I'm saying?
I'm 6
and,
cents.
like I say, just like you say, you're a solid 6.
Yeah.
I'm a solid 4. Easy. I'm okay with that. But I'm not gonna front. And what ends up happening when you go through these pages, it's not saying that I'm thinking the woman's better than me, but it's like, yo, it's not real. And it makes you question your position, like maybe I'm just out of it or whatnot. Social media has a stronghold on people, making them feel like they're not good enough. And that's why I don't
That's
like
true.
these
All right,
apps.
so
and I think they're dangerous
true.
because
I think-
it brings on a form of depression, bro.
Yeah.
That's enough from us stupid boys. Let's see what the ladies have to say about it.
Yes, I want to hear your intake and your intake.
I think Nat just started off. She hasn't said a single word. We have been on air for 50 minutes.
For
Not
real,
a
girl,
single
you gotta,
fucking word.
you gotta tighten up.
Stop!
Yeah.
I was paying attention to what you guys were
We
saying.
know
'cause
you
what
were
you guys
paying
were saying was
attention.
so important.
Carajo, I want to hear what you have to say.
And it's
Right.
like, even though I can't relate, I still
Demon.
I still want to be educated and listen. So it's okay to not
Understood.
talk and to just listen.
You're right, but I want to hear you. Since
But
you
in
haven't
re-
talked,
yeah.
I want to hear your input on how you view these dating, dating
Dating
apps, and
apps.
In
you know.
regards to this topic, So I've never been on Tinder. I've only been on Hinge. I downloaded Bumble once. And for me personally, it was very nerve-wracking because the woman has to
speak first.
It's
It's giving me anxiety vibes.
No, I'm an anxious person, so I was like, I don't know. And I just didn't like the app. So then later on, I downloaded Hinge. And honestly, I found myself, I'm pretty sure you do this too, just like swiping left. I'm like, no.
No.
And then even when I think I'm like, maybe, I'm like, damn, I have to actually swipe right. No. And then I just keep swiping left.
So Chad has a question to you ladies. What have you learned from an online man? I want to hear T's take on this one.
I haven't learned really anything except that there's a lot of fraud. Their expectations are shallow. I think it's because of what's going on in, I'm just going to say Miami, South Broward, wherever you want to put it. But I'm from North Carolina. I'm not saying North Carolina don't have prostitutes, whores, whatever you want to call them, but I've never seen prostitution run so rampantly until I came to Florida. Like as soon as like a guy or female, like the first time
You
they
got the
try to holler,
304s out here.
yeah, like as soon as like they try to holler, the first thing they're trying to do is get in your pants. But they're so used to females asking for money. That's the topic of the thing down here, you know?
No, I have truly decided that
Like they don't even want a relationship. Like they'd rather just pay you for a little bit of your time.
No, yeah, not you're like, dude. The average man ain't finding no wife down here in Miami, bro. If you're not a
I disagree. I disagree.
I mean,
I feel like from a woman's point of view, it's hard to find like a good
guy,
because nowadays, if you think about it, at least from a woman's perspective, like let's say like I was single and I wanted to find a man, it would be pretty difficult to do so because the guys in my age bracket are probably looking for fun, nothing serious, or they're confused or complicated, or let's say a little more increasing the age gap. Let's say in the late 20s, early 30s. Okay, the more serious man, more mature.
That's what you think.
But that's just my experience.
I mean, I
That's her
understand.
experience.
From the side of the average man, he is me. Men are just looking for love, man.
That's a lie.
But I do have a question for you ladies, right?
I am in the trenches.
That is such a lie.
No, seriously, has social media made us more promiscuous? Of course.
Yes,
But
because now females is just showing everything, like just everything everywhere.
No,
so
but
your
like,
man,
dude,
I do have a
the
question
modern
for the
man,
women.
the modern man treats the women that are showing their goods like as they should be for recreational use only. Ain't no way a man is gonna wipe up a chick that's throwing her body all over the internet.
But you know what
bro.
I've
I'm just
noticed?
speaking facts.
You know what I've noticed?
I
The good
disagree
men
with that.
have women
I
on
said
their
wife
side.
up, not have fun with.
Yeah, okay,
Right.
they're getting wiped
But
up. That's the ones, the whores is
but I
the
wanna ask
ones
you guys this.
in the women's world, in our perspective,
Yeah.
us good women are getting looked over for the ones who's
Us good men are getting looked over because you guys
I'm not a
just
good
said,
man. I'm a
okay,
dog ass nigga
fake.
all day.
Let's
Let's
be
just
real
say
with
that.
you. Where do you women go to look for good men? Let's talk about that. Where are you
Well,
guys?
I used to go to church, but unfortunately, I found out that there's a lot of undercovers in there.
What did I tell you? What did I tell you?
You were
What-
speaking
I
about
was
this
saying
the
that
other
shit
day.
last week.
So now we have a lot of competition.
Yeah.
No, I
What
mean,
about you? Where do you go for a good man?
I don't.
Where did you meet your man? You tell me where you met your man.
But actually, we were friends for like 3 years already, and because we used to
So
work
like in
together.
school or work?
Yeah, because we used to work together
Yeah.
at the store, and it was chill, friendly. Never like, it had never like crossed our minds until like recently. Yeah, we were single. We have the same friend group, and I was talking to one of my friends, and I'm like, this is gonna sound very. This is like if I'm objectifying him, but we were talking about this. I was like, damn, you know who can get it? This guy can
Yucky,
get it.
I don't want to
No.
hear that.
This guy
They're
can
just like us.
Yucky.
They
just like
are
us.
just
We
like
have
us.
those
We have
conversations.
this conversation all the
Right, we
time,
do.
like with our girls.
When
or
it
like
comes to like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm cutting off the women. I
yes,
apologize.
you are.
But as a
Anyways.
man, I'm just gonna take my place where I belong on top. You know what I'm saying?
Anyways, like I was saying,
Cut his mic off, Lewis.
completely off.
Cut the mic.
But yeah, like I would confide to my friends and be like, damn, like he's cute, he's such a good guy. But like I've always noticed that he was such a great guy,
Right.
like amazing. And so it kind of just happened. Like the saying, oh, like don't go looking for love, like it just
Let it find you.
let it find you. And I know this is very cheesy ass saying, but it's true. Like you'll find it when you least expect it.
I semi
You
disagree.
find it when you least expect it.
I
Mark
don't
my
know
words,
about
Jason.
that, but I mean,
Mark my words.
I don't listen, and I said this 1,000 times. So friends can't just be friends.
No, I believe
And
you
that's
can
the
be
thing.
friends with the opposite gender.
Yes
You
and
can.
no, because okay.
Yes
It
and
depends
no.
on the
I'm gonna
individual.
say this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say
You
this.
can
I'm
only
gonna
be
admit
friends
this.
if there's no chemistry
She's about
involved.
to leak out some tea.
because
I got
the thing
it.
is, there has to be chemistry if you're gonna be friends with someone. Me and Jay have chemistry.
Yeah.
Me and
Yeah.
Nat have chemistry.
No. Sexual chemistry.
Sexual.
Oh, no.
Okay.
But
I mean,
no, I wanna
hey,
hear what you were
yo,
gonna say.
Jay, you know what I'm saying?
If
He's
I
got-
have,
yeah.
listen, if I have a crush on you,
Do
it's
you?
gonna be hard for me to be your friend.
Why?
You get what I'm saying?
I mean, some people have better.
We
like,
can be friends,
Yeah.
but then it's gonna
Self-control.
it's always like once you cross that boundary,
Yeah.
But
You
I
never
want-
get that
I
friend
want to hear
back.
what she has to say. Please
I
go
believe
back
that,
to what
yeah.
you were
you
saying.
never
Okay.
get that friend back.
Okay. The question: can guys and girls be friends?
Mm-hmm.
Yes and no. It depends. If you're emotionally mature, if you can, talk about your feelings and all that stuff. And I do tell my man a lot. I'm like, you better be careful with one of your friends that are girls that are too friendly, because look at us.
We were
I
friendly.
was too friendly.
Yeah.
But in a respectful way. Don't get me wrong, guys. I was super respectful. I never, disrespected him, objectified him in any way. Like it was
I would-
all genuine.
I would love to be.
I didn't just
objectified.
want to fucking go. Like that wasn't the case.
Can I spit some real game though?
But I did tell him. I'm like, I know firsthand. Be careful. Women have like these good, what's it, gut feelings?
Yeah,
Intuition.
Their instincts, intuition.
Okay, let the man
But
speak now.
let me put y'all on game, and I'm gonna tell the viewers, man, whether women want to acknowledge this, whether men want to acknowledge this. If I'm not attracted to you, you ain't getting my number. If I'm not attracted to you to some type of effort and level, I'm not gonna fuck with you. And that's just how we
No, yeah,
are.
You're gonna get
like-
some ladies like
No,
a little
like,
crazy.
I'll
No,
tell you right
but
now. Like sometimes it's instant. Like sometimes usually, how would I know? I don't fucking.
No, but
like,
it's real shit, because think about it. If we're exchanging numbers, there's more than if it's not business related.
yeah.
And it's just on some meet and chill shit, there's an interest between the two parties.
But girls are scary.
No, but what I'm saying is, it's like, yo, I have my homegirl, shout out to Lexi, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to my best friend Amanda, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, we're attracted to each other. That's what allows us to communicate, right? But it comes to a terms where it's like, yo, either you're going to shut it down or you're going to play with it.
Yeah.
But I
But then
have
after
learned...
you play with it, you could end up losing that friendship.
Exactly.
So
and what I
it's
say
not
to
worth
that
it.
is...
Which is why you have to be very self-aware. Like
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
have friends. Let's say
But
you dig them.
I feel you guys as women, and I'm saying this, and y'all could come for me if you want, and y'all could say I'm a simp. I don't give a fuck. I don't care what y'all
Yeah,
say.
fuck you,
But
nigga.
the real shit is women need male friends.
Men need women friends
and
too.
just men need women friends.
You need that other side.
We need that
Right,
balance,
but
and it takes
platonic
discipline.
friends.
No,
And
yeah,
boundaries.
exactly. Like,
Platonic friends.
Yeah, one of my best friends. One of my best friends is a woman.
But she's gay though.
She is gay.
Right.
That's
But
easier.
That's what make okay. So again, this is what I'm gonna say.
Yeah. No,
again,
but-
you
but-
can be friends, just no sexual chemistry.
Here's the thing. I have two other friends, two close friends of mine. We even share tattoos on my back. Homegirls, right? We haven't, some things happened in the past, and we haven't really been as close as we once were. But it was not because of sexual tension or any of that nature. It's just the other things that. The point is, you can have people. I mean, I'm not asking you to believe me, but the thing is, the one of the friends, one of my closer friends, when we first became friends, it was on the table, right? But I reckon
What was on the table? The sexual chemistry?
yeah,
you gotta like let us know, fill us in, because we're guessing here.
So, like when I met her, and maybe if she's watching this, she'll be like, "Nah." But when I met her, I felt like we were feeling each other, right? When I met her, right? But I was like, I fucks with this girl's vibe. She's cool and bubbly, and she knows how to have fun. And even though she looks good, I don't see anything with her. So I'm not going to pursue that.
And you're not going to engage.
I'm not going to engage in that. No, I mean, we flirt, right? When I say flirt, like we say, what I like, the only way that it can, me personally, I can be friends with a girl, straight or gay or whatever, is if I can talk to them the way that I can talk to my male friends. Just say some out-of-pocket shit.
Without basically taking it to the heart.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I will say this, and I'm going to say this to the women, and I feel like I need to say this. If you women want to find a good man, look at your friends. But tread carefully.
Yeah, because you will lose that friend.
And when I say look at your friends, every woman on this planet has a dude that is a friend that they have literally thought about. Maybe we could see where this goes. And you have to maintain that. And you have to basically set the tone right. You just can't engage. You know what I'm saying? I remember I saw a cartoon where this dude is like down and his homegirl is like, oh, you're a great guy. Any girl would be lucky to date you. And he's like, so date me. And her eyes just go big. And she's like, about that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the thing with that is I think it's very dangerous. And I don't want to sound like I'm being a misogynist or anything like that, because I like to think that I'm the furthest from that. I just hate everyone equally.
Facts.
So, but what is going to happen in the future? Unfortunately, you can, if you don't believe me, it's fine. I don't care. But there are two types of good guys, good friends or whatever. The problematic friend is the friend that is only friends with you because they're trying to get into your pants. So they think that engaging in
it's an opportunity.
Yeah, exactly, as an opportunity that at some point she's gonna see me as a good guy, and that's my.
But that leads to disappointment, and you only have yourself to blame.
Exactly.
For that. That's not him being real. That's him being fake as fuck.
That's one of the guys, and then the other one is the good guy friend that actually sees you as you are, right, and it would still. And like you guys
Accepts
both
it.
Exactly, except you guys both have the same idea. Like you don't really see each other like that, but something happens and all of a sudden you're in a new light. And the problem with that is women will overlook that guy as well as the problematic guy. And I think that they overlook that guy because of the problematic guy. And what's going to end up happening is that you're going to have that guy in your corner or whatever, so to speak, and you live your life or whatever, have your fun, what have you. And at the end of the line, when you want to settle down and things of that nature, that guy that you overlooked is going to move on.
Yeah.
And then you won't have anyone. And the same thing happens for men as
Facts.
well.
One of the worst things I ever been told, and I've been told this like since I was young, oh, Jay, you're hubby material.
Yeah.
If that's the case, then why is there so much bullshit and niggas going through? Nothing insults a man more than a woman saying you're hubby material, but yet playing.
We're not sitting here bulled up right now, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying niggas is desperate and whatnot, but ideally,
maybe
as
you're
a
not
man,
putting in the effort to make it hubby material. Maybe we see your potential, but you're not putting in the steps or the effort to make it to that point.
Men are stupid, okay?
We're oblivious, but when I say that, when they say that, like for my homegirls who have said that, you know what I'm saying? It's like, why is it that a lot of women, and I'm not happy about this, but there's some girls and they're still around and we're still cool. They place me in a bubble in reserve. You know what I'm saying? And that shit irritates me. And a lot of men end up in this situation.
So have you shot your shot?
It's not that I haven't shot my shot. When I say they put me in a bubble of reserve, like they see my worth, but they don't want to act because they don't want to act on it because they want to still have fun. Exactly. They know that dealing with a man like me means it's going to be serious.
Is it that?
And because I'm not saying, I'm just saying from my experience. And because it's like that, one thing I have learned, especially as I gotten older, to the women who done that, they have come forward about it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, I feel bad about it. You know, I apologize. And of course, I accept the apology. But why do that? And that's the shit that really fucks us up in the head as men, because we feel that connection. You get what I'm saying? And as we feel that connection, it's a blowback because it's like, damn, yo, you're doing all of that. And we genuinely care, and we're open to the thought, and you entertain it to a certain potential.
String it along.
You string it along, and because If you have a good man, we care genuinely, and it's not that we're trying to play the game either, and it's not that we're doing wishful thinking, but it fucks us. And then in reality is like Ben said, when we're tired and we no longer want to engage, you automatically make us the bad guy. But when the time was there, it's like, yo, you didn't take the opportunity. We can't, again, remember, women are the gatekeepers to sex. They're the gatekeepers to actually allowing a man to go through. And that shit's crazy.
But when you come to the gatekeeper, you just can't come and be like, oh, I'm here, open up. No, y'all got to learn how to do this stuff that it takes. So based off of what you were just saying, me listening to your experience or whatever.
Listener or brush you off, check us out.
No, it's not me brushing him off because I'm acknowledging what he said. So I hear what you're saying about that, you know, they putting you on reserve, but they're saying that they see your potential and then they start to lead you on, right? And then it never goes nowhere else. So my question to you is, again, what are you doing? Because women, I'm just going to tell you about women since I'm one, it's like if we flirt with you and we show you like, okay, yeah, I like you, right? And then I come around you again, I'm like, hey, I like you. And you're doing the same old nonchalant thing like, you're not giving me no feedback.
Shoot your shot.
Thank you. Okay. I'm going to leave. Hold on. Because, again, you're saying that you got put on reserve. The reason that you must have got put on reserve is because, again, she's seen your potential. She gave you chance. She gave you hints. And men, being the guys that y'all are, y'all never want to take control of things. There's only some alpha men out here.
I believe I just said that men are stupid.
And I don't respect them.
Right.
What am I going to say? What am I going to say?
Okay, based off what she said, I know you're going to say something along the lines of, oh, if you wanted to shoot your shot, why don't you shoot your shot? Why don't you take the initiative?
No,
and it's like,
that's not what I'm going to say.
Okay, well, whatever.
Classic woman move.
I apologize. Either way, if she gave you like those signals, I understand, you know, like, oh, we're growing, they'll give me signals, like, be straight up, this and that. Right. And it's like, okay, you know, and even if, you know, she does that, or like, every woman is different. They have their preference of shooting their shot, like, whatever. But I'll admit, like, some women love it when the man takes the initiative. Like, if they show the signals and they show like some women shooting their shot is giving you the signal to shoot your shot.
But when I say they place a nigga on reserve,
a nigga, okay, we about to get into it.
Okay, and this is something, especially here in Miami, dealing with Miami chicks. When I say they place me on reserve, they understand the potential. They send shots, and when you do engage, they distract till they can't distract anymore. And it is a
elaborate on distract.
He's speaking on his experience.
I'm speaking on my experience.
Okay, elaborate on distraction.
When I say distract, I engage, right? And you play with it, you flirt with it. But because you know that you still want to have a good time, you're going to put me to the side because you know what, if you do with me, it's serious. And that fucks me up.
Like all that hot girl shit is shut down type.
Yeah, because it's like, yo, you dealing with me means that you know our relationship is going to be solid, but you don't want that. And because you don't want that, you don't want that yet, and you put me to reserve. And then you trick out when a nigga moves forward. Because we're not going to wait forever on that.
So the question is, do you want that? Because at that point, you got to start realizing your standards. If you're telling me that you're showing that you want this girl, you're attracted to this girl, you're putting the effort, right? She's engaging back, but then all of a sudden it doesn't go anywhere because she wants to be with this guy, that guy, this guy, that guy. Is that really what you want? Because you're showing like a type now. That's what you're going after. That's what you're attracting.
That's why you move on.
That's why you move on. And that's what I'm saying. Because when I do make that choice to move on, I'm automatically the bad guy. It's like, yo, one thing, and I'm not saying all women. You shouldn't be
worried about it then.
I'm not worried about it. What I'm saying, that's just what happens. And I'm saying this in modern women, especially growing up here in Miami, the way these women work out here, that's what they do all the time. Not all of them, but the majority of them. They'll play the fiddle, but when the shit gets serious, they still want to be selfish. It's like they want it all. You can't have it all. Because as a man, I'm not going to be on standby for you to get it your way. And there's a lot of brothers who have gone through what I gone through. And as a man, I respect your decision. But you got to respect mine when I'm no longer willing to entertain. Because I'm not going to wait for you.
Yeah.
I'm going to go for what I want. And if I already showed you that I'm down for it, but you're hesitant on it, it's redundant and it's hypocritical when you lash out and you're upset about me going where I'm appreciated. Because you weren't ready.
And it's,
women,
I agree.
And
Yeah,
the
you're right.
majority of women, not all,
And then sometimes-
the majority of
But
women,
men do that too,
they
though.
want the appetizer.
No, yeah, men do that as well. Yeah, men do that as well.
But
Yeah,
when
definitely.
men do it, I think it's more of a narcissistic way because men already know what's up. Don't play that shit. That's that whole pillow talk I was talking about. Because the difference is a woman, she'll pay high and whatnot, but men, as we are, we're more aggressive. We control the field
Not
more.
all the time.
Not all the time. I'm just saying.
no,
Majority.
yeah, I mean, sometimes men are dumb too. Like Jay, like tell him. Like I remember the other day.
Oh God. You talking about the cave woman?
Yeah, no.
Oh my God.
But not the cave one, but that's a good one. Not the cave one. I'm talking about the one client.
Oh yeah.
With
Like men are oblivious. So we had a customer that we're working on. She literally shot her shot at Ben. Literally said, "Take me out," and I'm like, "Green light," and this motherfucker was like, "Huh?" And I'm looking at him like, "Nigga."
like, bro,
Like,
God.
like I had
nigga.
like dude like so
I was
like,
so mad at him because, yo, I'm waiting for the digits. I know. She literally
sure,
said,
Saturday.
"Oh, what
What
you
time
do?"
you gonna be ready?
Yeah,
No,
no, it's-
on some. Like,
she
yo, what
said
do
to
you?
me,
Oh, are you
what
doing
do-
anything tonight? Do you know any places to get good drinks? I'm like, there, huepa, take that, toma.
Wait, but I have a
And
serious
he
question
and
for
he
Ben.
basically stood like a boy with his hand on his pee-pee, like,
Deer in the
and he didn't go to the
headlights.
vet. Like,
Did you?
yeah.
Were you aware or like?
He
were you aware?
knew.
No, wait.
He
hold up. Did you know? And you were like, no, she's not my type. So I'm gonna act stupid
No.
because I don't want her.
no. It's okay. So
He
here,
got scared.
no.
Or you just
I mean,
nervous?
What
You
was
got
the tea?
intimidated,
What was
cuz.
the tea, Ben?
You
What
got
was the tea?
you got intimidated, cuz.
So okay, here's how it went down.
Tell us.
Here's how it went down. Okay, here's how it went down. So, when she first came to the shop, this was like a couple weeks ago, a few weeks ago.
Yep.
She first came to the shop. I was still oblivious, but Jay's like, "Oh, dog, she was feeling you, dog."
Mind you, this one thing I'm good at. I peep body language in ways that
Clues.
people think I'm
Right.
spiritual. I'm born with that. So when I seen how she reacted to him, it's like, okay.
So
I
then,
set the
what
tone.
else
So
happened?
okay, and then she comes back and
Engages the nigga.
like, yeah,
Like if they basically known each other type shit. She showed massive interest. This man, he had that stupid look on his face right now. The look on his face right now is the one that he had.
Was
and I'm
you
just like,
mesmerized?
nah,
all right.
it was like, nigga, like,
So, like,
motherfucker,
yeah,
if I was your age, I would have been engaged.
So like, yeah, I'm talking to her or whatever, and then she's like, "Oh, do you have any plans tonight?" And I was like,
Do you know any good, any plans tonight? Do you know any good places to get drinks? I'm sorry.
Ben.
and I go,
Bro,
and I
was so mad.
says to her, no, do you?
No, she wasn't even ugly. She was actually really cute.
So I says, no, do you?
This motherfucker.
And then
Why
she
am I
goes,
looking you through the glass?
and then she goes, oh no, and I go, oh okay.
I wanted to beat.
Your
Yo,
pickup lines
yo,
suck.
I wanted
But
to
my question
beat
to you is
his
why?
ass.
I wasn't
Why?
trying to
No
pick her
game.
up. So
It wasn't the fact that you're trying. All you had to do was open the
Right.
door,
Where was the
Negro.
swag? Where was the
All you
sauce?
had to
Oh
do
my
was open the
God.
door. Because
did
you
you
could have been
want
like,
to?
oh, I know
And
a
then
good
over here
bar
talking about
downtown.
you're so single. Oh my God, I'm so lonely.
Did you want to
Listen,
though?
huh? I mean,
Yes, he
Like, deep
did.
down.
He did. He did. He did. Look at his face. I know he did.
But
Can
then
we
why
talk
didn't
about
you?
it? Can we talk
Benton.
about it?
Benton, question for you. Could she get it?
huh?
Could she get it?
Fuck yeah.
Okay,
So then why you didn't want to take her on a
Right.
He
date?
got scared.
I think we're
He got
overwhelming
scared.
him.
I got a little nervous.
Nervous.
Girls are
He's
scary, man.
Oh my god.
God.
Right.
But you know what? That's a lie. I tell my best friend this all the time. I be
my
like,
God.
I can't stand guys who are so shy and they never shoot they shot. Like for example, we'll be out eating, we'll be out whatever, and a guy will lock eyes with me, right? And we'll lock eyes. I'll give you the flirt smile back, right? Like, okay, cute. I'm gonna see what you're gonna do, right?
No, but you have to.
And then
just
they'll
a-
walk
just
all the way out and
You
stare
have
at
to
you.
understand
And you be like, what? Like
that
you saw
growing
like,
up,
oh my
growing
God,
up
this is
ugly,
bad.
growing up
Shut
ugly
the fuck
has
up.
changed
Nah,
how
fuck that.
Nah,
because I'm ugly as fuck and I still wouldn't hesitate like that.
Yeah. Growing up ugly growing up ugly has changed how I perceive how women
Nigga,
perceive me.
I don't
Boy,
think
you
so.
so
I
full
just-
of shit, there's peanuts coming out your nose, okay? Don't play that with me.
I just think men have a hard time with rejection. So y'all don't shoot y'all shot as much as females do because y'all can't handle
What?
rejection. That's
Females
what it
do
is.
not Sorry, shoot not
Hands
me.
down.
I feel like men are used to rejection. I mean,
I'm used to ejection all day.
They don't handle it.
They don't
but
stand
I don't know how you guys.
That's why they don't ask you. That's why they don't like to take you on dates because they're afraid that you're gonna say no.
And plus, this is just my face usually.
Nah, man. Your ass.
I'm always
You
scowling.
look like you ever seen that court show when she got caught cheating and she's like, that was his face, and I'm like, yeah, I'm on the computer and I don't hear this man asking for the number.
Like, he's
so
literally-
I look at him like,
bro,
goodness.
he's literally like, as he's hearing us talk to each other, he just goes, "Ben, you green as fuck, dog." Hey, out loud.
cause yeah, I said it in front of her because I was like, nah, bro. Now you disown, cuz. You disown. Because let me tell you something, dog. There's one life to live. If a woman, how I met my ex was at work. You know what I did? I kept it 100. I was like, listen, I don't know if you got a manual right now. I want to be professional, but I would definitely like to take you out.
Yeah.
I come straight forward. I don't do the pillow talk.
Right.
I don't do the game. As a man,
You got a
and I'm
better
not
shot.
trying to put you down. I ain't talking shit to no other man. I know what I want in my life. And that's why I say I love to go hunting by myself. That's why I don't do,
High
I
standards.
have a, I ain't want you to introduce me. No, man, I go hunt, cuz. Cause I always go hunt for myself.
You're
I
alpha.
always get what I want.
'Cause you're
I'm
alpha.
not an alpha.
Can we just like
I've been called a Sigma Alpha.
shout
That's
out to
what
this
they call it.
comment
Okay.
right here, real quick?
Ben probably is one of the most attractive people in his friends group. I think Ben looks better than me. I'll give him that. You see, he asked him. But on that
face
note,
he's doing again.
we're running out of time, guys. So allow me to close this section out, yo. Yo, real shit. It's been a great episode. We thank you guys for tuning in, yo. We thank you guys. Make sure this is your
I don't know,
first
I'm
time.
stupid.
Real shit. If this is your first time tuning in, man, make sure you hit
Like,
that subscribe
subscribe.
button. And again, man, this is one thing for sure, two things for certain.
certain.
Let's
Check us out.
go. I didn't know.
Right.
Your ass got me mad. That girl wanted you on a platter. And she was like,
Platter? Ben.